At 90, most people move closer to their grandchildren. Agnes moved further away from everyone. Her home is a tiny dot on a map of Alaska, one the mapmaker forgot to draw. The nearest neighbour is 200 miles away. The closest law is her own. But she is not alone. She has neighbours, 1,000 of them, and they are all wolves. This is not just Alaska, it is the edge of the world where maps lie and compasses go mad from their proximity to the pole. In winter, the temperature here drops to minus 70 degrees Celsius. That's minus 96 Fahrenheit. At that temperature, steel becomes brittle, and your breath falls to the ground with a quiet rustle. The air is so cold it burns the lungs. And the silence is a physical weight on the ears. Agnes's home is no cosy cottage. It is a fortress she built herself log by log 40 years ago. Inside there is a stove, a bed made of caribou hides, and an old rifle leaning against the wall. It is not for decoration. It is a tool. Her hands resemble the bark of an old tree. Her eyes hold the colour of the northern lights and the hardness of steel. She is the last pioneer, a relic from an era when people survived not by technology, but by sheer force of will. She does not fear the cold. The cold is an old friend. She does not fear loneliness. Loneliness is her choice. But in the last few days, something has changed. The air has grown heavy. The silence has become piercing. Her 2 dogs, husky mixes, are acting strangely. They don't bark. They press against her legs and whine softly, staring into the darkness. They sense what the human eye cannot see. They smell the scent of the pack. Agnes steps onto the porch. The moon illuminates an endless white canvas. She doesn't look at the ground. She looks at the horizon. There, on the crest of a hill, one shadow appears. Then a second, a 10th, a 100th. They are not hiding. They are not afraid. This isn't a hunt. It is a declaration of war. The masters of this land have come to claim their territory. In Yellowstone, tourists pay to see a single wolf through a telescope. Here, the wolves come to you and you don't pay. You pray. Arctic wolves are not the forest dogs from children's fairy tales. They are biological killing machines, honed by millions of years of evolution in the harshest climate on the planet. A male Arctic wolf can weigh up to 180 pounds. That is the weight of a grown man, but in the form of pure muscle, teeth, and speed. Its fur is as white as snow, making it invisible. Its paws are as wide as snowshoes, allowing it to run across loose snow that swallows its prey. Usually, wolves live in family packs of 7 or 10, but sometimes during the harshest winters when the caribou migrate, something terrifying happens. The families unite. They form a super pack, an army, 100, 200. Legends of the local native tribes speak of packs 1,000 strong. Such a pack does not hunt. It annihilates. It scours the territory clean. Nothing can stand against it. Not a grizzly bear, not a moose, not a herd of musk oxen, and certainly not a lone elderly woman in a wooden cabin. Agnes knows their tactics. She has seen their tracks. They surround their target. They don't attack head-on. First come the scouts. These shadows. They test the perimeter, searching for weaknesses. Then come the beaters. They create noise, forcing the prey to panic, to run. And waiting in ambush are the killers. They have an alpha, a general, the brain of the operation. He does not join the fight first. He observes, he analyzes. Agnes's dogs are not just scared. They are terrified. To a dog, a wolf is a dark reflection in the mirror. It is what they were before they became man's friend. The wolf is the primal power the dog has lost. And now that power has come for them. In the darkness of the polar night, lights begin to appear. They are not stars. They are not the northern lights. They are eyes, green, yellow, cold. They flicker in pairs, dozens of pairs, hundreds. They form a ring around the cabin, a ring that is tightening. When the sun dips below the horizon and darkness falls over Alaska, the true siege begins. The first thing Agnes hears is not a howl. It is silence. The kind of silence before a storm when nature holds its breath, and then the air shatters. First, a single voice, low, long, and vibrating. It penetrates the log walls, the glass, seeping straight into her bones. It is joined by a second, a third, and within a minute the entire valley is singing. This is not a song, it is a signal. Coordination. We are here. We are waiting. There is no escape. The howl of 1,000 wolves creates a resonance that makes the dishes tremble on the shelf. It is a psychological weapon. designed to induce panic, to force the victim to make a mistake, to run. Agnes sits in her rocking chair. The rifle rests on her lap. But she does not fire. To shoot into the darkness is to show fear, to reveal that you are rattled. She just rocks, creak, 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 creak. The rhythmic sound is her answer to the chaos outside. I am here. I am calm. I am not afraid. Through the window she sees them. They have moved closer. The light from the cabin snatches their silhouettes from the dark. Huge white beasts, they circle. They rub their flanks against the walls of her home. She can hear the scratching of claws on wood, a sound that chills the blood. They are testing the fortress for structural integrity. Is there a cracked log? A poorly latched door? One of the wolves leaps onto the roof. She hears the thud of its paws overhead. Now they are everywhere, around her, above her. The house is a submarine submerged in an ocean of predators. The dogs have wedged themselves under the bed. They are not even whining. They are trying to become invisible. Agnes stands and walks to the window. She meets the gaze of one of them. It stands 10 feet away. Its breath fogs the glass on the other side. Yellow eyes stare directly into her soul. There is no hatred in that gaze, no malice, only cold calculation and hunger. It is seizing her up, an old woman, weak prey, but it is mistaken. Inside this frail woman burns a fire it cannot comprehend. The rifle is a weapon of last resort. Agnes has only 50 rounds. Against 1,000 wolves, that is nothing. If she starts shooting, they will retreat, but their rage will drive them back to attack with their full force. She needs something more powerful, something that works on instinct. Fire, the ancient fear of every beast. Agnes opens the stove door. Flames roar inside. She throws in dry, resin-soaked logs. The fire burns brighter, but it's not enough. The fire needs to be outside. She grabs a bucket filled with ash and still glowing embers. She takes a can of kerosene. She puts on her heavy coat. This is the moment of truth. She's going to open the door. It's madness. Any survival expert would say, barricade yourself and wait. But Agnes knows that if you show fear, they win. If you hide, they will find a way to get to you. You must show strength. She throws the door open. A wave of cold and the smell of wet fur hits her in the face. The wolves leap back a few feet, startled by her audacity. They snarl, the fur on their hackles raised. Agnes makes no sudden movements. She pours the kerosene in a semicircle on the snow in front of her porch. Then she tosses a burning rag into it. Whoosh! A wall of fire erupts, its orange flames stark against the blue-tinted snow. The wolves jump back, yelping. The bright light blinds their dark-adjusted eyes. The heat frightens them. This is magic. A human controlling the element that can destroy their forest. Agnes stands on the porch, illuminated by the flames. She seems taller, larger, like an ancient shaman. She doesn't shoot. She just stands and watches. She had drawn her territory, a boundary of fire. This is my home. You may not enter. The wolves are in disarray. The instinct for self-preservation battles with their hunger. The fire burns brightly, but it will not last forever. Agnes knows this. She closes the door. The first assault has been repelled. But the fuel will run out. The kerosene will run out, and the wolves will remain. She needs something else, something deeper. She needs a weapon that strikes not at the eyes, but at the mind. Why is she here? Why would a 90-year-old woman choose a life at the epicenter of mortal danger over a warm retirement home in Florida? Agnes sits by the window. The fire outside is dying down to glowing embers. The wolves are creeping closer again. She remembers her husband. They built this house together. He died here in this bed 20 years ago. She remembers her children who moved to big cities and beg her to join them. But she cannot leave. The city is a cage. Noise, bustle, meaninglessness. Here in the silence of Alaska, she feels alive. Every breath is a victory. Every morning is a gift. She looks at the wolves. Most people see monsters, killers. Agnes sees something else. She sees family, loyalty, strength. She understands their hunger. She has gone hungry during harsh winters herself. She understands their brutality. Nature is brutal, but it is honest. Wolves do not kill for pleasure or money as humans do. They kill to live. In a way, she and the wolves are kindred spirits. They are both survivors in a world that is trying to kill them. This understanding is her secret weapon. Part 2. The absence of the fear of death. Animals can smell fear. It is the scent of adrenaline, of cortisol. It is the vibration of their prey. Agnes does not radiate that scent. She is ready to die. If her time has come, so be it. This calmness confuses predators. They are used to prey that runs, screams, panics. Agnes is as calm as a rock. But there is something more. Agnes knows the language of this land. She knows that wolves respect strength, but they also respect gifts. The law of Alaska. You take, you give back. In her ice cellar, a pantry dug into the permafrost, she has stores. Moose meat, caribou, fish. She had been saving it for herself in case she was snowed in for a month. But now it is time to make a choice. Keep the food and possibly die, or give the food and try to make peace. This wasn't a bribe, it was a ritual, an offering. In the culture of Alaska's indigenous peoples, there is a tradition of sharing a kill with the spirits of the forest. The wolves are the spirits of the forest made flesh. Agnes gets up. She takes the largest cut of frozen moose meat. She takes a knife. She is ready for her final gambit. This will not be a battle of fire. It will be a diplomacy of blood. The fire has died. Darkness has once again enveloped the predators. The door opens. Agnes steps out. She holds no rifle, no tour. She holds a 30-pound piece of meat out in front of her. The wolves tense. Hundreds of ears turn toward her. Hundreds of nostrils draw in the air. The scent of blood. The scent of meat. The alpha male steps forward. He is immense, his hide covered in scars. He stands 15 feet from the porch. He looks at the woman. The woman looks at him. In that moment, a dialogue without words takes place. Two old warriors, two leaders of their own small worlds. Agnes slowly lowers the meat onto the snow. She does not throw it, as one would to a dog. She places it with dignity. Then she straightens up, and she does something no one would expect. She begins to speak, quietly, calmly, in an old dialect she had heard from the local elders. Eat. This is my share. I share it with you. Go in peace. The alpha takes a step, then another. He approaches the meat. He sniffs it. Then he lifts his eyes to Agnes. Something in his gaze changes. The green fire in his eyes dims, leaving only the look of an intelligent animal. He takes the meat as easily as if it were a feather. He turns and lets out a short, sharp growl. It is a command. The pack begins to move. They do not charge Agnes. They do not try to storm the house. They turn and walk away into the darkness. One by one, the shadows dissolve into the night. The howling stops. Silence returns to the valley. But it is no longer an ominous silence. It is a silence of peace. Agnes stands on the porch until the last wolf has disappeared over the hill. Her knees are trembling, but she does not fall. She goes inside. She bolts the door. Her dogs crawl out from their hiding place and begin to lick her hands. They are alive. The next morning, as the sun illuminates the dazzling white snow, there is not a single wolf around the house. Only thousands of tracks in the snow remain as a reminder of the night's army, and a patch of blood where the meat had lain. Agnes brews coffee. She looks out the window at the vast Alaskan wilderness. She has lost her winter's supply of meat. The coming months will be hard, but she has kept her life, and she has kept her soul. She didn't defeat the wolves with force. She didn't kill them, she defeated them with her humanity. In a world governed by the law of the jungle, sometimes the most powerful weapon is mercy, and the wisdom of 90 years. Agnes takes a sip of her hot coffee. She smiles. "Good morning, Alaska," she whispers, and Alaska answers her, with the glint of sun on the icy peaks. She is still here, and she isn't going anywhere.